Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Cassidy Swecker. I am a member of the LiveSwitch team, and I'm thrilled to get us kicked off today for our Revolutionizing Electrical Services webinar. And most importantly, to introduce our two presenters today, Corey and James. Now, before we get into all the great content, I'm going to go over just a couple of housekeeping items. Everybody is on listen only mode today, so please enter any questions or comments that you might have in the question box, which is found in the top menu of your GoToWebinar toolbox. There's a little screenshot of what that looks like on the screen here. I will answer your questions throughout today's session, in addition to some time that we have reserved at the end of the webinar today. But please don't hesitate, drop them in as you think about questions as we're talking about content. A recording will be sent out to everybody via email after today's webinar, so feel free to rewatch that or distribute it to any colleagues or peers. Today's agenda consists of introductions so that you can get to know Corey and James. Then we will go through the bulk of our content, our Q&A session, and a sneak peek at some technology for you at the end. First, I would like to introduce Corey. Corey is the owner of Van City Electric in the Vancouver area. He has been in the electrical industry since 2001 and founded his company in 2008. Corey was really driven by his frustration of the reputation of trades companies, and he was set on providing a better experience for his clients. He coined the term a fresh look on trades to describe his approach to operating an electrical company and building out a premier team. He is the lead estimator and epitomizes customer service first. You'll definitely hear that today during our session. He is very systems driven and prides himself on the various programs and systems in place to support his team and his clients. Corey believes in the importance of giving back and has taken on many nonprofit initiatives to support his local community. His clients definitely appreciate him for his friendly demeanor, many years of expertise, and his ability to respond immediately. Corey has built a high-performing team that has received hundreds of positive client reviews online, over 500 actually, and received a number of awards. A couple of those are listed on the right hand of your screen here, which is amazing. So congratulations, Corey, and thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Next, I would like to introduce you to, James Hatfield, who is the Chief Revenue Officer here at LiveSwitch. James brings many years of diversified experience and expertise across industries and roles at companies ranging from fast-growing startups to Fortune 500 enterprises. James's focus on customer experience ensures that anybody working with LiveSwitch is successful and can identify solutions to scale their business. Specifically through his support of LiveSwitch Contact, James ensures that business owners are able to implement efficient ways to contact customers and provide remote quotes and streamline operations using video. So with that, James, I know we're excited to jump in. I will hand it over to you.
Thank you, Cassie. Appreciate the introduction. Corey, I'm very much looking forward to this. Our goal with these webinars is to really give just a couple of golden nuggets to our listeners that they'll walk away and say, wow, I really heard something different today, and I want to implement these one or two things. And I think literally, Corey, we could talk about two separate webinars today, one that we will go through, one we won't. The one that we won't go through, and I talk to business owners of home services every day, people in your chair. And what made you jump out to me immediately? I mean, I just met you, 3 weeks ago? We didn't know each other from anybody, right?
Yeah.
Like somebody connected us, a mutual connection,
Totally.
and we hit it off very quickly. But I knew right after about 30 minutes with you, I was like, everybody needs to meet Corey. And here's why. Number one, your view on serving the customers and putting the customer first reminded me of a guy, you might have heard of him, named Jeff Bezos. And AWS, Amazon, he invented that thing, right? But his mission was he was customer obsessed. And Corey is customer obsessed. He wants his customers to have a real experience and to be super happy. And he doesn't even hire folks unless they're focused on the customer. We talked about that. So that's a whole nother webinar. And in fact, we might have to do that sometime because I want everyone to hear your reason for all of that. And I think if we can transfer just that customer obsession, focus on the customer, everybody here, including our customers, will be that much better for it. But that's not why we're here today. Why we're here today is to talk about your journey into the digital realms, the video, the going from the man who went on site all the time to the man who doesn't go on site unless he has to. And you're unique. A lot of times when we reach out to folks, they haven't really used video unless they had to in COVID, right? They had to do it in COVID because they couldn't show up and they were forced to. And then after that, they're like, hey, I'm going back to the way I've done it for 20, 30 years, right? And you weren't like that when I called you. In fact, you were rare. You were someone who was already on the journey. I'd love to, what was your journey? And I know COVID's born out of COVID, but like, can you tell us how you got to be doing your estimates all virtually?
Yeah, well, I'm in the Vancouver area, so there's sort of Vancouver and then all these little small towns around it, and drive time can be anywhere from 1 to 2 hours. It could be 45 minutes, but on a bad traffic day, it could be 2 hours. So, before I was people want quotes. They really want quotes. No one wants to do an electrical job with an open-ended budget. Oh, we're $100 an hour and let you go that way. They want a number, which is fine. I totally get that. So I was driving around doing these quotes, and so of course, I didn't want to drive around every day, so I would try to line up all the quotes on, say, a Thursday or maybe a Tuesday and a Thursday, and do them all. And so there'd be a little delay, right? You'd have to do the whole schedule thing with the person. Then there'd be a delay till that Tuesday or Thursday. Then I would drive. I would do 5 in a day. I would come home rattled from the traffic. I would be, taking pictures and notes of those, say, 5 jobs. Then I would hope the next day I would sit down and regurgitate all that information and try to actually bang out these 5 quotes, if I even did that. So it's like, there's such a delay in getting the job going. This person wants to do electrical work, but just such a rigmarole with all that stuff. So
Yeah.
it was a nightmare.
Well, I mean, and that's what a lot of folks, that's their everyday still. Like that is what people do every day, and that's actually commonplace. Like what that is the
Yeah,
norm. That is how business is done. You
yeah.
go out, you meet the person, you battle the traffic. Sometimes your customer that you're supposed to meet is late, and sometimes you get in the house and the dogs are all over you, and you're,
I've
you've seen it.
yeah,
Front hand experience when you're trying to get in there and
I've
fix the
had some
electric.
hilarious walkthroughs. I used to record them. I used to use Evernote and I would record the audio and like I would listen back and just laugh about it.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. And I think, you know, if I can be as genuine as possible, and I know I'm biased because I work at LiveSwitch and we do video stuff, but really the purpose of this webinar is not to like, hey, infomercial on LiveSwitch. It's really not. Like, you're just so unique that you've done the journey of going from on-site to virtual, and a lot of folks have heard of it, and they're like, I don't know, man. Like, I've been shaking hands for 20 years. There's no way that customers are gonna like that. They want me to come out. They feel better. Like that, this is what I like to do. Can you tell me, like, when COVID hit, like, what have you
Yeah.
tried? Tell me the different things you've tried. Like, tell me if you've tried the FaceTime, or tell me if you've tried Zoom, and tell me how you got
Yeah.
there. Did somebody
I,
show you this, or like, did you
I
invent?
I think COVID helped a lot, right?
Okay.
We all got used to video, of course. We did a Zoom Christmas over COVID, which I'm disgusted that I even did that. But we literally did a Christmas over Zoom. And so like that's something no one would have even thought about. I remember during COVID, we did like a boards game night over Zoom with some of my buddies. Like we had beers and we played a game of some sort. So obviously COVID helped. We all got really used to video. FaceTime got better and better and better. So um, originally, yeah, I was trying FaceTime with Apple users. So if I punch their number into my phone, I could tell, okay, it came up blue. This is an Apple user. We'll do FaceTime. Even FaceTime is actually not that good for a video call. It's not as good as LiveSwitch. You can't record
What?
FaceTime.
Can't record.
Yeah, you
Okay.
can't record FaceTime, and I've noticed you would know this better than me, but for whatever reason, LiveSwitch is just very crystal clear, the video feed. And I even asked you about that. I was like, how is this better than
Yeah.
FaceTime?
Yeah.
So that's more you than me, but yeah,
And I
it's
say
really
that. I
good.
mean, full disclosure for everyone, like Corey and I just met 3 weeks ago from a mutual
Yeah,
contact, and I'm not paying Corey to say any of this. I'm trying to get you guys genuine, like owner of home services, how they've gone through the journey, what they've tried, what worked, what didn't, what the customers say about it, like, and why even do it, So FaceTime, what I'm hearing, like, hey, we tried it at first, but it wasn't recording, and the
yeah,
way
you
that
can't.
FaceTime,
Yeah, you cannot record. Even if you try to record your own screen, you can't record a FaceTime call. I don't believe it does the audio, which it would be important. WhatsApp does do a video call. I don't know if you can record that either, and it's just really not that crystal clear. So then I went to Zoom. Zoom obviously better, but there's a little bit of setup to that. It's clunky. Um, you got to create the meeting link. The every time someone booked a Zoom call, I was having to tell them like, "Hey, download Zoom on your phone." If they didn't do that ahead of time, then all of a sudden they're trying to download it on the spot. It's clunky. So
yeah. And I mean, you're an electrician, right? There's certain tools that work better than other tools in your toolbox, right? You go out and you have your teams out there. And yeah, you can try to do something with a tool that wasn't made to do that. And sometimes it works and you're like, okay, I kind of finagled my way to do that. And
yeah,
that's what's happened in the video space. Like FaceTime was invented for my mother to watch her grandkids blow out the candles, which she'll do here later this week. One of my daughters turning 5, right? And it's beautiful for it, and it works well, and it's no nonsense, right? But it wasn't built with remote assistance. And Zoom was built to have a Zoom Christmas party, right? It was built to have a conference call, and it's great at
yeah,
that. Like, and that's what it's used for. But when we
yeah,
use tools that they weren't used that way, then we like don't have faith in it. Like I think the reason that people don't have faith in virtual estimates is like they've tried to use tools. Like it's hard for me to drive a Toyota Corolla off road. I don't know if you've tried that, but it's hard. So, but when I get in my truck with all wheel drive off road, tends to work a
yeah.
little bit better.
It's
And it's
clunky, right? When something's
funky.
clunky, you're fighting it
Yeah.
basically.
And so what we took and what we saw and what we worked hand in glove with home service owners, I worked with owners to build this out. And our company focuses on this. It's built for remote assistance, right? So when you actually have the call, it's little things. On your customer side, it's actually big for them and small, and they see you small. On a FaceTime, they see you big and then small. Why? I don't know. I wear these big, thick glasses, and you're asking customers to walk around looking through their phone. And if they're looking at that little thing, they're clunking their head. It's because we invented this for remote assistance. FaceTime, Zoom.
There's a yeah, and there's a couple. So one small thing that was happening on Zoom was a Zoom call opens you up to yourself, and then so you have someone that probably never used Zoom on their phone. They might have used it on a computer, but typically they haven't used it on their phone. And so the first part of my Zoom call every time would be, how do I, and they would always figure it out, but it would be clunky. And then you would have to start a recording. So there's two things I noticed with your software was I believe it opens to the back camera and it'll open starting a recording. So there are two things there. It'll records automatically, so you don't have this meeting is being recorded. That doesn't happen. You don't have to remember to do it, and it will automatically open to boom. They're showing me their electrical.
Yep,
So
that's it.
yeah,
Yeah,
less clunky,
that's
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
And tell me about the journey though, right? Like before we even met, you were doing virtuals before you even knew we existed. So 3 weeks ago, you weren't using our stuff. You were using
Yeah.
Zoom. Tell me about that. And you were closing business and you were preferring to do Zoom over driving out. So tell me about that.
Yeah. Like you want to know more about why I was doing that?
Yeah, like why you were doing it, how customers are
Oh,
responding, like how do you do this from your office? Like what,
yes.
Corey, like, why aren't you driving out? Like how do you
So
do your
so yeah, I mean, basically I was driving out. It again, I guess it's clunky again. It's you're waiting to drive out the day of. you're looking at 5 jobs all at once. You're going home the next day, maybe, hopefully doing those 5 estimates, right? Hopefully you don't have anything planned the next day. Um, I wanted to get rid of this sort of, I call it like gatekeeping the calendar. People like, you're a client, you want to get your job rolling, right? So with us, there's nothing holding you back. You can schedule your quote, and for a day that works for you, we will show up online. Right after we're done, we're going to send the quote. You could also schedule your day to get the work done. So I have clients that are doing that. They are, I don't know what's that.
Oh, that's
Um,
an Apple camera feature. So yeah.
um, so I have clients that are booking their quote in, and then they're also booking a time slot in to actually get the work done. So there's zero delay. Like I'm not holding your job back. You're holding your job back. So book her in. Let's get her going. So this whole delay seemed clunky to me, and that's why really I got going on those video calls. I wanted people to be able to book them themselves and get things rolling.
Cassie's here because she's got a
Okay.
question from the audience.
I
Yes, come
do.
on, Cassie.
Good follow-up question to that. So I think that sounds like a perfect world, right? Little delay in between getting a quote and getting the work done. This question relates to that. How have you introduced remote quoting and video tools like this to customers who are used to getting to their house, you getting to their house in person? So it's an ideal scenario, but how have you bridged
Hmm.
the gap for customers who are used to getting those on-site quotes?
I would say I get very little pushback. What I hear more often is why aren't more people doing this? That's what I hear. I would say twice a year I get an old guy that's getting like 5 people to show up to his house, and only one of those guys is going to actually get the job. So 4 people wasted their time. I do get a little pushback from them, but they're really not our clients.
Mhm.
I always think if someone's getting 3, 4 quotes, they probably didn't see our reviews. They haven't checked us out. They missed the marketing somehow.
Sure.
Maybe they weren't referred from another client of ours, and so that's not my person. Not everyone's going to be your client all the time. So I'd say once, twice a year, I get a little bit of pushback. Most of the time, though, people are like, "Wow, this is great." There's I haven't really had to like push it on people. The only thing I do say in an email, because people are used to trades coming out, I'll say we actually do all of our quotes online. Here's the link, book yourself in, and they're like, "Oh, okay, sounds great." Like that really hasn't been a whole lot.
That's great. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Okay. So they're coming to you and they're like, hey, I want to quote. You're like, hey, book online. They book online, right? And if they have a question or two, why online? Which sounds like they don't as much. Just book online. They book it. We're scheduled. Anything else that like what comes in? Do you have to email them? How do you get them prepared? Like I booked it. How do I know? Like if I, as a customer, I've never
Yep.
done a
Yes.
virtual. How do you onboard them in that way?
So communication, which trades
Okay.
are bad at.
Okay.
Um, I love communication. I love over communication. I will continually over communicate with the customer right from the start all the way to the end, almost to the point of being annoying. I will over communicate. With the video quotes though, um, the communication after they book, so they're happy to pick their time and their day in the calendar. Okay, I booked this video call for 3 o'clock on Wednesday. This is when I have to communicate. So I use something called response bid. You can add in videos anywhere through the process you like. So I can have a video as soon as they booked it. It'll be me, and it's just, hey. So there's actually a video before they book of me explaining the offerings. I can add in a video after that just says, hey, thanks for booking that video call. Right before the scheduled meeting time, we're gonna text you a link to your phone. You don't need to download any software. You're just gonna click that link and it's gonna open a video call up. It's that easy. Um, Through that booking software, I have the ability to message with clients. So basically, when someone books online, I get 3 different emails. I will always look at every single one of those, and I'll reach out and I'll just say, "Hey, I see you booked online. I read your information. Everything looks great. We'll totally get this fixed up for you. Or, hey, thanks for booking online. Or, hey, I'm going to send you a link. So we'll have a little bit of chit chat before the actual
Okay.
meeting.
And all that's happening over email? Or are you texting people too? You say you over communicate. Tell us, like, obviously you're saying a lot of these communications. Help me with that.
Yeah. So I have some automated messages that go out. I use Airtable for some of those. Jobber has some automated appointment reminders, so I'm using that. And then ResponseBid, that is my online booking platform. That's where you book. Also has lots of follow up, like unlimited follow up, really. And it has a full messaging. It basically has text messaging built right in. So I can, if James booked, I can go in there. I can see James's profile. What did he book? What did he write down? Did he leave me any pictures? Maybe I have a question, or sometimes I can tell what the problem is just from what they booked. And I'm like, hey, your breaker might need to be reset, or have you checked a GFI might need to be reset, or so there's messaging built right into that.
Cool. And
I mean,
how hard is it to get going? If I'm watching you right now and I'm like, oh, ResponseBid, never heard of that. Airtable, what the heck is that? Like, oh my gosh, text. Like, maybe I'm a little overwhelmed hearing all this. Like, is it really that hard? Or like, how long, if like, all right, Corey, I just listened to a webinar. Like, I'm going to do
yeah.
what he says. Like, how hard steep the
So
learning curve?
I'd just say this: I never took any classes. I'm just an electrician. I'm not just a high school graduate electrician. Um, no one showed me how to use Airtable or ResponseBid or Jobber. We live in times of YouTube. There is so much information out there.
Mhm.
It's if you go look, you can
Yeah.
find. I taught myself how to get Airtable going. You know,
Mm. Is it worth it? Like if I'm sitting there like I'm like owner to owner, like Corey, like I know you're on a webinar with another company with technology, but like tell me, like, is it worth it, man? Like, should I really do this? For a lot of people, it's a big jump. It's not like because they really have been doing it for 20 years and hopping in the truck and meeting all the neighborhood and they're
I feel like it's kind of a non-negotiable. I feel
Mhm,
like if you own a business, you're gonna people are expecting online booking,
mhm,
right? We're very used to Amazon now. It blows my mind that I can't book an HVAC guy to my house for Thursday at 3 o'clock. That's crazy. I just booked a
mhm.
golf lesson online. Why can I book that online? Why is that
Right.
so easy? You know what I mean? Like, but to get an electrician out, I have to like call and, you know, I
If we
don't
were
know.
interviewing one of your customers right now, right, that
Yeah.
went through the process, like what would your customers say about it? Give us from your customer obsessed, man. Like what would the customers say about this? We've heard them say you say like, why isn't everybody doing this? But why are they saying it? What do they like about it? Like or not like about it? Or tell us the good, bad, and
I
the ugly. And
think
you can tell us ugly stuff too.
I think and I'm just going from Google reviews, right? So when I say I haven't had any pushback, like we have the most Google reviews in the Vancouver area. It's not even a close race. We dominate. And so, and these Google reviews, sometimes I'm so proud of them. They're like the nicest Google reviews that I've ever read sometimes. And people are very honest and they'll leave like very detailed Google reviews. And so mostly if you look, you could pick out the same words over and over. It'll be like, it was so efficient, or the communication was so good. The responses were so quick. Nobody writes a review that says they did the best electrical work ever, right?
Wow.
No one writes a review that says they hung my light so great, right? Because they don't know anything about that stuff.
Right.
All they know is that they were able to like get their job going, right? They got instant communication, they got feedback. I over communicated the whole way through. Like that's all they know. Oh wow, they cleaned up their mess. They showed up when they said they would, So that's what I see on those Google reviews is like, wow, communication was crazy good. The process was so efficient. That's what I hear from
And what
them.
do they say about the actual virtual estimate, right? Like, what do they say when it comes to like, instead of, in addition to why isn't everyone doing this? Like, because it might have
Yeah.
been the first time they've ever done a virtual estimate for a home service ever.
Yeah,
You
that's
know,
true.
how are they
Yeah.
responding? What are they saying? Like, what's the little details that matter? And I mean, you've told me a couple things, so I might plant you one of like, hey, there's been times like you told me the story of like you got on someone, you guys were like sipping coffee for the first 15 minutes even
Oh,
before you like,
yeah.
there's you
Yeah.
have like a thing about the FaceTime and like you have
I
this whole reason you told me.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, a video call like a FaceTime is we're all used to doing it with your mom or your grandma or someone like that, and you're face to face. I know we do video calls in like a conference setting, but usually a FaceTime on your phone, you're not doing conference calls that way. You are typically talking to a family member. Um, so I've had like such nice conversations with people face to face. Um, I would say even better than when I'm on site. When you're on site, you can, I don't know, you can look away, I guess. You can be distracted. When you're on a video call, you're literally face to face. There's no getting away from it. And the one I was thinking about this morning was it was an older guy, and I think we were looking at his service. We are going to do a service upgrade. But the first part of the video call, he actually just sat there with his coffee, and then it was a morning call, so I had my coffee too, and we were just both sitting there, and we were just chatting about
Awesome.
life. And I was like, this is so great. I felt like I was talking to like a grandpa or
Yeah.
my own grandpa or someone like that. And I just literally enjoyed it. It's not, I'm not like, okay, show me this. Let's get
Yeah.
going. I'm like, it's sometimes we have a nice little chit chat, and I record them all, so I'll post them once in a while.
Love it.
Oh, that's
And that
awesome.
personability obviously is a huge piece of the positive reviews you were talking about, right? The type of service that you provide. And I do have a question related to that. How were you able to transfer your customer first mindset, that type of service that you're providing to your team? I struggle with the idea of maintaining my way of doing business while scaling with new team members.
Yeah, so probably most of what I talk about to my guys would be this sort of customer service stuff. It's also what I hire on. If we were doing an interview, I would really probably wouldn't be asking you a whole lot about electrical. I would be probing you just to see, like, are you a people person? Do you actually care about being a people person or being on time or being friendly? That's kind of what I hire on already. So it's like in the nature of me, and then my crew would be to just be friendly and easygoing. So like in a lot of those Google reviews, a lot of people, they're not really writing about me. They'll be like, Dustin was so great. Matt, this guy was unbelievable. I love when they mention the tech.
Yeah.
So my other estimator, I have a full-time estimator. I'm not doing so many of these anymore. His name's Arsh, but he's just like lovely. So basically the feedback I got from him when he was an electrician was Arsh was so lovely, which is how I feel when I talk to Arsh. And
Yeah.
so I know that's how he's coming off to my clients. So the other day someone asked me, "Oh, we're looking for a project manager. How would you go about hiring this person?" I was like, you should have someone working for you that's ready to be promoted to that, right? Someone should be waiting in the wings that you think is a good fit. If you have 5 or 6 journeymen, one of those guys is going to be friendly enough to do a video call, right? Like there's always someone that's ready to move into that position. So
Absolutely. Thank you. It starts with who walks in the door and joins the team. It's
yeah,
great.
I guess it starts with me kind of, and then like I just suffocate the guys with it. And like I think I was saying to you guys, like if someone's not into customer service, I'll like sniff it out so fast,
Yeah.
right? They'll leave a little mess behind. They'll be 10 minutes late. They won't communicate. Like those things, I will sniff them out right away, and they'll either get fixed or they won't, and that person can move on. That's okay. Like they're not a bad person, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
It's
Well, thank you.
intentional. It's intentional, right? Like, have you ever been to a store or a restaurant, and you go in there, man, they're always so pleasant. We have a restaurant here called Chick-fil-A. Some folks have probably seen it. Well, they teach their employees how to say everything, how to everything, that it's all by design. Like it's thoughtfully done. Like you value as a business owner customer service, being on time, cleaning up after yourself, being a lovely person, and you train it, you teach it, and it's who you are. Like the company is reflecting Corey,
Yeah.
right?
I
Because
and
of
I
your
I think
values.
I just did that because it always helped me win. If I was like, if that was really important to me, but it wasn't maybe important to the clients, and that it didn't help me like win or gain new clients or keep clients, I don't know, maybe I would have changed and done something else. But
Yeah,
it's always helped me, keep clients, keep moving forward. So like, of course, I'm going to double down on it, right?
that's right. That's right. You
Yeah.
reminded me of this Seinfeld show. If anyone watched Seinfeld, there's this guy who sold soup, and they called him the soup Nazi because he was so mean, but his
Yeah.
soup was so good. People just like did it. I'm like, okay, maybe your soup is so good. Maybe your electrical work is so good that you
So
can be
yeah,
a jerk.
I
But
always talk about this. Every single electrician is going to put your light up the exact same way. There is no other way to put a light fixture up or wire in a plug. So you can't be out there being like, you'll never hear me say, we're the best electricians, right? It's like, I don't know what that means,
mm,
you know? Um, yeah, I would say we might damn well have the best customer service, and maybe I can measure that on Google reviews or what my clients are saying, but like you'll never hear me say we're gonna put your light up so hard it's gonna be amazing,
no, but customer obsessed companies win. It's what you said. Like the reason we do it, it wins. And then a lot of people ask us as like, and this I'll just tell you the data. Like, well, can I win using remote virtual estimates? And here's the
Mhm.
data. This is the data from the lips of owners. Again, people I don't pay for this. They just tell me the data. They're like, James, when I bid on the phone and I bid blind, I close about 35%. Okay, 35% on the phone. Okay, when I go on site and I drive the truck and I'm out, I win at 60%. He's like, James, when I use LiveSwitch Contact, I win at 62%. It ain't like 80%, right? But it's a tick more. And even if it's 1-to-1, right? 60% on site, 60% virtual. What are the benefits? What benefits do you see being virtual to your company and to your bottom line? Like
Yeah.
you mentioned a couple things for the customer, right? The customer experience. But what other reasons, and you did this, I mean, again, we only met 3 weeks ago. You've been doing this for a long time. Why
Yeah.
else in your business do you do virtual estimating?
Well, so just for fun, I actually looked up my win rate, and my since 2019 to now, I really didn't see a change. I was curious if there would have been a change, but because I saw some people online saying they did have a change, but mine did not really change. Because I just don't think me being in person or me being on video is going to be that much different for the client. It's just more efficient, you
Yeah.
know?
Well,
Uh,
well, what about bidding the job, Corey? Like, if I don't put my hands on it, how am I gonna bid it right? Now, you're
yeah,
you're sitting at your desk bidding. You mean you can do a better job than being on
yeah,
site? Like, some of the things you don't like. Here's where it gets down into it. Like,
yeah,
all right, I'm on board. I'll do some estimates, but now it's like, well, how do I get it right? And like, you can get it
yeah.
right on virtual. Tell me about that.
So this would be usually there's like two pushbacks. One, someone will say, "Hey, I'm old. I just don't want to do this," and that's fine. I go, "Hey, no worries. I'm totally okay with coming over to your house and hanging out." The second one is, can you really quote from video? Da da da. But I don't know, and I don't know other businesses. I only know ours. Most of these jobs, all these businesses, they already have pricing for. An EV charger is an EV charger. A hot tub is a hot tub. A service upgrade underground is you know, we already have pricing. It's already done. So the only thing I'm getting is little specific details. So, oh, we're going to do a service upgrade at your house. What's the brand of panel you have? Well, I don't need to be there in person to see that. The service upgrade isn't really going to change whether I'm there in person. That price is already set. So usually when I'm doing these calls, I'm just grabbing small little details. Okay, from there to the other side of your garage, I can see it's about 15 feet. We're like, if you told me something was 20 feet, I'm going to buy 25 feet of cable anyways, because I don't trust you. Even when I tell my guys something is 20 feet, they're going to buy 25 feet because they don't trust me. We're always going to buy a little bit extra wire. So the whole, can you really quote it through video? I guess I've proved that you can because my business is still operational.
How long have you been doing this? How long have you done virtual
Yeah,
estimates?
when was COVID? It was basically COVID.
Okay. So was that
So
19?
2019,
Yeah, 19. So you've been
something like
doing it
that.
for 4 years. Now, our
Yeah,
product is only a year and a half old, right? So you've been
yeah.
doing this before we were even, now we're a 14-year-old company, but we weren't doing this product until a year and a
And
half ago.
and last year we had our best year ever on paper. So
Wow.
it's
Wow.
not, you know what I mean? It's not, I'm not missing on quotes. We know that's not happening.
Well, I'll tell you what you are missing on, driving time, missing paying the gas, missing wear and tear on the vehicle.
Yeah,
It's actually one of the most environmentally friendly things you're doing as a business. Probably
rattled,
missing,
rattled.
not missing when the customer wasn't there on time, or not missing traffic, not
Oh,
missing, like, I can even hear it. Ooh, like you're not missing that stuff, right? Like it's
I
like,
no, I drove like into the city the other day. I forget what I was up to. Oh, I was going to a networking group and then I had another meeting. Then I drove home. It was just a lot. It was probably 2 to 4 hours of driving on the day. And like, I could just feel it when I got home. I was like, oh, I feel gross right now. I feel rattled
yeah. And
when,
you're probably
when
also expanding your reach too, right? Stuff where you wouldn't have driven. You're like, I mean,
it's
I want
nice.
the job, but I'm not going to drive that long.
Yeah.
Now you do
Well,
the estimate.
one
You know,
feature of LiveSwitch that I really like and I want to get more into it is the one where you can send the person the link and they record a video call. Because I have a lot of, so like I'm taking it even further. I don't even need to be on the video call now. Just like if, I had a lady yesterday, she wanted 3 outlets fixed up. They were like, cracked and stuff. And then she had one outlet that wasn't working. That was the job. She wanted a quote for it. So perfect example of where I really need to be on this video call? Here's a link. Click it on your phone. Just literally go, Corey. Here's this outlet. Here's this outlet. I don't know. This one's not working. Now I have a ton of information. We didn't even have to book it in. The timing was open ended. She could just do it whenever she felt. So that's like a third option. I think I'm gonna add to my
yeah.
website basically.
We call
Is
that the video Dropbox. You're literally texting someone a link, and you can be sleeping in your bed, and they're, taking that video. And we'll show everyone here the technology in a little bit. I know in this particular webinar, we're doing a little more. We don't mean to do more infomercial here. I'm really just trying to tell everyone the benefits of the virtual estimate. And if you look at our previous webinars, we got stuff on cash flow and lead gen and all kinds of stuff. You guys check it out. We got tons of good stuff for you. It's just Corey had been doing this for 4 years, even before our product was around. It's like everyone needs to listen to you because you come with like you've seen it all. Like, so you've tried different
yeah.
platforms. So why would you, here's my self-serving question of the day. Why did you choose LiveSwitch, and you've tried all the other platforms? What is it about LiveSwitch compared to the other ones that you actually used? Like, it wasn't like you tried them, you used them and you were closing business from them.
It does seem like it's built for what I'm doing, and because of that, it is less clunky. So I think when you showed me the feature that um, all I do is put in someone's phone number and hit send, and they get a text message with a link, and they click that link, and it opens up a video call. I was like, oh, it was so streamlined. They don't have to download Zoom on their phone now. And we can get away from that. Zoom is just a little bit more clunky. So once you showed me that, I was like, oh, this is like perfect for what I'm doing. It was like, by the end of that call, I was like, all right, just take my money. Let's go.
That's what
You, you
happened.
know, yeah.
And now I've got you on a webinar. Thank you, by the way. But
Yeah.
I
So
felt like everyone needed to hear from the quote unquote horse's mouth. Like, here's someone who's been an electrician for 20 years. Here's someone who's been doing this for 4. And we're going to get into maybe a little more Q&A here. If I can bring Cassidy back up, a few more questions. I'll do a quick demo of the software as well. Is there anything else that you want to share around this topic before I bring Cassidy up to ask more questions?
the only thing I was gonna say is what I've been doing is, so I think sometimes it's hard to explain. Like if I was just gonna tell you about LiveSwitch, it'd be, you'd be like, it's like Zoom but better. So what I've been doing is sending people the record a video link. I just randomly send them to people, and I'm like, check this out, right? And so I'm trying to like show them or like bring them in
Love
basically because once you play around with it, like once you show someone, you're like, oh, okay, I get it.
Awesome. Well, we will show that here in just a minute so people can
Cool.
actually see it. But yeah, Cassie, what other questions do we have from the audience?
Yeah, I have a great follow-up question to that actually from Connor. How do you receive the video files after the call, and how fast do you normally receive them, Corey? And then James, if you have anything to add.
James would probably know how fast
Yeah,
they come.
it's
I'm
it's
assuming
it's
it's instant.
it's pretty close to instant. You're
Yeah.
waiting at the most 30 minutes, and it all goes basically in the cloud, and you just log into your account, and all your videos are there, and you get a ping like an email, hey, you got a new video, and we store it all in one place. I'll show you that here in a minute when I show the software.
This just like brought up, James, I know you're a golfer, but like how, right? Could a golf coach not use this? Would it not be like, send me 2 vids, one from this angle, one from this, and
Well, I'll tell you, there's a professional sports team that's going to start using our stuff. I can't say their name yet, but if I told them, they've been around a long time and they're a big organization, a pro organization doing this for exactly that.
Interesting. Yeah, there's some golf coaching. I know it's called Swing Tweaks.
Yep.
And you send videos, it goes to a golf coach and they send you back like some
Right.
drills and stuff. Anyways, my mind's just like,
No, it's fine. We have
yeah.
people that are using this for recruiting. Imagine like having someone send a video cover letter. Hey, what are 3 questions like why you want to work here? Send me a video. And we have recruiters that use this every day. We've got folks that are using it for video customer testimonials. So after the job, they say, hey, can you record yourself saying how much you love our stuff? Great. They do before and afters with pictures. There's also pictures. You can take pictures.
I think I'm gonna add that to some of my stuff basically because I'm getting tons of Google reviews. That's easy. That's easy, but I think the next level of Google review will be the video testimonial. And it's like
Absolutely.
it again, it always seemed clunky to me, right? Hey, Cassie, I'm gonna come out to your house with my camera and we're gonna do a video testimonial, which nobody wants to do. It's just too much pressure. But what if I send you this link? And so, what's it? Nice Job. Nice Job does Google reviews and referral campaigns. They sent me a link to do a video, and I was happy to do it. And so I just recorded a little thing saying how much I love Nice Job. So I'm definitely going to add that for my clients.
Love
Absolutely.
it.
And we've actually met with Nice Job around that stuff too as well. But yeah, and the other thing you can do is you can send a link to your staff. So if you have one of your folks out there, you say, hey, if and they're getting, hey, this customer loves us, Corey, like this person's loving us.
Mm,
Hey, we should probably do a video review. Corey could actually text the video Dropbox link to their staff, and then the staff member could just hold up their phone and take a video of the person
totally. And
saying how much.
I think I'll just build it into a system. So when the job's done, they get a closing email from Jobber, and maybe that link will be in there. And then because I don't want to do it manually, but
Yeah. And I'll show people too. We have a website I've shown you as well. We have a bunch of our customers where they can just go and do their own remote quotes at any time. So they can put in their name, hit a record button, and do a recording. And then when you wake up in the morning, there's the quotes. It's all on the website. So we'll show you guys how we have some customers getting quotes right from the website with video attached.
yeah, that's something I'm gonna add to my website basically.
Yeah, I know you just started with us 3 weeks ago, but yeah, well, we can help you do all that too. Any other questions, Cassidy, before I do a quick demo?
Yeah, 2 more questions, James. The first, Corey, how do you encourage all of the positive reviews that you receive on Google and eventually video testimonials? Do you and your team ask for them right away when you complete a job?
No, I actually don't agree with getting your guys to ask for Google reviews. It's like it's just another thing they need to remember. I've seen all kinds of trades come up with lanyards for your guys and with the Google link on it, and it was like, oh, we'll pay you $50 for Google review and all this stuff. I just use Nice Job for the most part. I mean, first of all, we just do a really great job, right? That's like the main part. And then we use Nice Job, and it's basically just like a rehash campaign. Like it's gonna follow up with them over and over again, and just say, hey, it's gonna make it easy for them. Nice Job allows you to pick your platform. So if you want to leave a review on Homestars, Facebook, Google, whatever you would like. So
That's
yeah,
great.
even if someone doesn't want to leave a review on any of those platforms, it'll allow them just to write a review. It really
Sure.
just so you have it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you. And
And that,
last
I mean,
question.
yeah, Nice
Oh,
Job works
Yeah.
extremely well.
And I've
It's
heard that from other owners, by the way,
yeah,
and who
it's
love
a
using.
no-brainer. It's cheap. I think it's less than $100.
mhm.
Yep.
I rarely hear a bad word about Nice Job.
No, they're great. We've met them. I know the product owner over there. They're a fantastic company.
So they
Great.
send me the video review to do for them, and I was like, well, when am I getting this feature? Like, you know what I mean? Like, when am I gonna get to set? 'Cause you're using it. You obviously built it. Like, give it to the rest of us, though.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, thank you. And last question here, James, before we jump over. Corey, I know you have a great answer to this one. How are you learning about the industry and keeping up with updates, whether that's in technology or the way that trades companies are doing business?
Um, I'd love to know what I told you about that one.
Well, I know Breakthrough is a
Yeah,
great
this is
resource,
Yeah.
breakthrough.
right?
This is
Yeah.
So,
mastermind. Yeah.
I mean, I've done 7 years of business coaching with Breakthrough Academy. Please check it out. Anyone, if you're looking for some business coaching, specifically from a trades point of view, Breakthrough Academy, I feel like they are taking over. It started in Vancouver. It's North American wide now. I believe they had at our last winter summit, they had someone from like Australia come. So it's getting around. Um, I'm also a sucker for any meeting. So I have people reaching out all the time. They're either like trying to sell me something or, whatever it is, I will, or maybe they need some knowledge from me. I will always take the meeting, even if I'm giving away some knowledge, because I always pick up a nugget, it seems like. Um, there's a lot of, I hear there's a lot of private equity like coming into trades and buying up businesses because when a trades business is run well, they're good little businesses, um, and so they'll sort of they reach out on LinkedIn and stuff like this. I will always take the meeting, even though I don't want to sell my company right now, but maybe one day I will. I will always take the meeting because you just never know what little nugget you're going to find out. Same as my meeting with James. I had no clue. I was like, video software, what? Right? And I was like, I don't know. I'll do it. Right? And then me and James, we were having a blast talking, right? Like I was so happy I took that meeting. But I didn't even really know what it was about. It was just referred to me by someone else that said, Corey, I think you'll like this.
Yeah. The
Which is
knowledge
funny
is
because
very
that's what
important.
I'm doing with people now. I'm like putting James in emails with people. I'm like, Jordy, you have to look at this. Steve, take a look at this. I'm doing the same thing to other people. So
That's great.
Now
Yeah.
everyone knows how genuine this is. Like literally, like guys, we just try to give back. This is what our webinar series are all about, bringing incredible owners like Corey on to talk about all kinds of subjects because we just want to give back. We love the home services industries, love sharing these ideas. And to your point, Corey, taking those meetings, taking the time. Everyone who's on here right now is taking the time, right? Like you hopefully come away with a couple gold nuggets already from Corey. Go ahead, Corey. You have a thought.
that is Breakthrough Academy. It's like I don't know how many members they have, 800 or something like that, different businesses. But if you are an electrician or a plumber or someone and you want to hire a virtual admin, you'll get 4 or 5 emails from different companies saying, this is exactly how we hired our admin. These are the questions I asked. This is what I'm paying. You're literally getting the roadmap. So you're like, what takes so much time in business is you're figuring things out for yourself and making these mistakes. You're like burning yourself. Okay, I learned there. Next. So when you have some other, companies that are like, oh, here's the roadmap. Here you go. Here's how to do it. Here's the software you use. Here's my tech stack. It's massive.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Definitely. And I
Hey,
did drop the link to Breakthrough Academy in the chat here in case anybody's interested.
Awesome.
Awesome. We're going to spend the next just 5 minutes going over the technology for LiveSwitch, which is what Corey's using every day and his team. So let me share my screen here. Give me 1 second. There we go, screen 2. So LiveSwitch Contacts, what Corey is using. This is our video platform, and it's all cloud-based. You don't have to download any apps. Like you can access it on a PC or a Mac or an Android or iPhone or a tablet, and as long as you have and you don't even need internet connectivity for some of this stuff. But you'll just go ahead and log in. Every company is given their own login, and your staff, your team will come in, and you have a number of different ways to connect with your customers. Way number one, which Corey was talking about, and I'll demo it now, is text to connect to do a live video. This is a one-to-one video for remote assistance. And I'm going to show you how everything is designed with like Corey and his team. So I'm just going to put my phone number in here. There it is. You can customize the message, hey, this is Van City Electric. This is Corey with Van City. Please, it's just a text message. You're going to send them a text. If you do any international work, you can text us any number in the world, this as well, or email them. We have included now email, and you can share this video with a team member. So if Corey's doing this on behalf of someone else on his team, it'll share it with them afterwards. When I hit send, I happen to be on a Mac, big screen on a Google Chrome, but again, you can be on anything. When I hit send, what's going to happen is my phone is going to get a text, and I'm going to play the role of both customer and like I work for Corey, right? So it starts to upload. I am getting a text right now as a customer. It's a very simple text message that comes up, and it's waiting for others here. And so I'm ready to receive them. I'm going to mute stuff or I'll get the echo chamber. And all I do as a customer, all I do is click the text, right? So when I click this text, so again, if they're not tech savvy, it's okay. All right, it opens up a browser, and all it asks them is this, and this will do it for Android, allow a camera. So they click the text, click allow camera. That's all your customer has to do. And you're going to be able to see them wherever they are. Okay, so I'm getting ready to connect with myself. Let me mute this or it's going to be crazy. Okay, so you can see from the customer point of view, they're seeing themselves. This is me up here as the electrician, and then down here is them because they're going to walk through. And me as an electrician, you see it on my screen, I can take remote photos. So if I want to take a photo of,
And we
this
do,
wall,
yeah.
I can just take a remote photo. I'm recording everything. Go ahead, Corey. What were you?
A lot of times I'm taking photos of things I know my guys are going to want to see, and then obviously the recording. So I'll put those photos and the video recording right in the job for the guys, so they can literally watch the video, and they do. Sometimes it's nice, like you'll even get the tone of the client. Are they all business? Are they really relaxed? There's all kinds of stuff, and my guys, me and the client are all working off the same scope of work, right? We know exactly what the client said, which I
Yeah,
love.
because it's all recorded. And they can play it at 2x speed, by the way. If they want to move fast through it, they can and jump around. And I took a remote photo, video. And so that's mode one. That's text to connect. Mode two is the other one Corey referenced in the webinar, is the request a video. So he was talking about someone who he really didn't need to do the one-to-one. She just needed some new, some fixes. Very simple. You just click this, put the phone number in, and then tell the person what you need. Hey, show me all the outlets. Just that you type it in, show me the outlets, click. When they click it, they'll get a text, allow the camera. And what's neat about this one, the technical term is called asynchronous. Imagine if they have to go to the basement. Imagine if the basement has no internet. They literally can still record, go back up to where they have internet or even 3G. They can have terrible bandwidth and it will still upload beautiful photos, beautiful video. But Corey, did you have a thought there you were
Oh,
going to add?
I mean, that's pretty ridiculously cool. Right? Because, a lot of times before I would be on a call with someone and they would leave their house. Maybe they're showing me their EV charger out at the garage, or in Vancouver, we have a lot of underground parkades and things like that. So, I mean, I just found that feature pretty neat, and I don't believe anyone else has that.
No, we're a video company. So what's really difficult is the video engine, and we create that. And Corey had mentioned like we're a higher quality video. Yes, we've tuned it to be high horsepower to where you're getting that full quality video coming through. Okay, and also the ability to lose internet, come back. And this is great. Let's say you do the one-to-one call and you can tell the customer going into a place that doesn't have internet. Say, no problem. Hey, after this, I'm going to send you a text. Will you take a video of the basement area? I need to see that as well. And breakers and things are are down there, right? So you're going to need that piece. That's the video Dropbox. Third method is right on the phone. You got your dog going. It's all good. So we have this thing where your staff can put it right on the phone. And so if they go on site, so when you do the on-site video, let's say it's the person that Corey mentioned, like, hey, they're not going to do a virtual. I'm going to have to drive out. No problem. You can see on my phone, it's the same outlook as on my computer, and I can hit start recording, put the name of the job, Sally Sue job, hit start recording. Again, this one you can lose internet with as well. So if I'm going all over the house, outside, inside, and this, you can take a video for 10 seconds, 10 hours. And I'm taking video. What's neat, all goes to the cloud, nothing's stored on the phone, and I can take remote photos while I'm taking video. So I'm taking video, remote photos, all going to the cloud, nothing on my staff's or customer's phone. That's another big benefit because, as you guys know, video files are huge. Phone, have you ever scrolled to look through for a customer photo? It's annoying, but all of that goes right into that one file. Okay, that's mode 3. Mode 4, I'm going to actually show you from a direct one of our customers. And Corey, you knew Ferguson Moving and Storage somehow. You knew Lauren, the owner. This is one of many people. Lots of our customers have this. They go on their website. They put on the website, hey, want to get an online quote. So again, the owner, so Corey could be sleeping in his bed, he could be out getting a sandwich. Someone's going on to his website, putting in their information from their phone or their computer, and put their name, comments, record, and they can record. So they could go and say, I need this many outlets done. They record. And then now Corey is looking at the video. And so when he calls, hey, I've already reviewed it. Here's how much it's going to be. And he's already off to the races. And that can be done from the desktop. Here you can see this person said, hey, if you're viewing this from a desktop, scan the QR code. We offer these QR codes. Customer can scan it from their phone because they
I
can't take
love
their laptop
these.
around, right? And then
I love the QR code. I think it's cool.
it's super
I
cool.
mean, that concierge thing you were showing me as well. It's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, I'll show you that on another webinar. And then everything. Someone asked the question, where do all these go? Well, all these videos go right centralized. Okay, and you can search for them by customer name. And here is the video, that the one-to-one video I did with myself. Recording is already ready to go. For others right here, I can share it, copy it. If you have a CRM, like if you're using it, you need a copy of this, you just copy the link. I can assign it, I can tag it. Maybe this is a bigger job and I like to tag all of my breaker box replacements or all of my EV chargers. I can just make a tag called EV charger. And then there's a remote photo. Oh, I've got my haircut. Looking good there, buddy. So then the other one that I did over my shoulder, the live recording, it's right here. So I took a ton of snapshots, video right there. This is all you saw me do this right over and I can come in, crop the photos, share it. I can share it with one of my colleagues. If I happen to have photos on my phone, if I like maybe old photos, you can upload those right into your account, videos and whatever. And all this is by the name. And then here in the settings, this is where everyone who wants to put on the form, and the QR code is right there. So there's QR codes right there. There's the forms that I showed you on the website, but it's all included. If you want another demo, let us know. Thank you for letting me do a tech demo. Cassidy, I'll let you close us out because we're at time here.
Yeah, absolutely. Connor, I see your other question. We'll follow up with you directly via email after this. So thanks for that. But I want to tell everybody thank you so much for joining today. Thank you, Corey, for joining us. Thank you, James. It was a great session. You will receive a recording of this session via email later today. As James mentioned, we have a bunch of on-demand webinars available right now on liveswitch.com as well that cover many different areas from marketing to cash flow management. And other advertising techniques that business owners have shared with us. So please check those out. But want to say again, thank you so much for joining us, and we hope to see you at the next webinar. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.